Right, let's take you back to that story we're tracking as we try to get some reaction from KwaZulu-Natal Premier Thami Ntuli around the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. Premier, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. We know that you launched the start of the campaign in KwaZulu-Natal, and it comes on the back of the alarming statistics. In South Africa, it's estimated that a woman is killed by her male partner every 6 hours. What is the strategy and approach you're taking as KwaZulu-Natal?
No, thank you, Mondise. Good evening to yourself and to the viewers at home, and thank you for having me. Well, as the President of KwaZulu-Natal, already we have launched in a community where out of all areas in the municipality, in Nkosi-Langani municipality, the area is remote rural, but the scourge of violence is surpassing all the different areas, engaging the community, because we believe the partnership between the community, government and the police is quite very important. Already we have started, I think we have able to see that the sexual offences declined by 2.0% and the rape declined by 3.8%. And we have in 300 wards established the rapid response teams. We have deployed even some of the graduates to police stations, which are hotspots, to assist with the administration in the matters of the gender-based violence and femicide, and also the Tutuzela centers that have been established in partnership with the private sector. And soon we will be fast-tracking the state-of-the-art Tutuzela Center in Jozini, so that we also ensure that community they experience the practical support and intervention. The other huge problem that we have as a province is the issue of the forensic laboratory, of which today we had an engagement with the private sector, with the purpose of expediting again the building, the identification of the land, and then the building of a forensic laboratory. As you know that police, they work with the samples which are taken to the laboratory for forensic in fact analysis, so that the evidence is used in court, and then we are working with them to ensure that we expedite that, so that the cases are expedited. But what is mostly important is the launch that we have made today to say, let us enhance our fight against the gender-based violence and femicide in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, where in all the departments have budgets and activities which are meant to ensure that we reach out to the communities so that they are aware, and then they refrain from such conducts.
Yeah, and Premier, that will be rather important, because the statistics also demonstrate that violence against women has become normalized in South Africa. The measures that will begin to show the impact of the campaign you're running, how will you begin to look at those and track them to see the notable differences? Because people have become discouraged when it comes to crime.
Well, I think the statistics which are collected to the office and submitted to the office of the Premier will give us, in fact, the understanding as to whether we are winning the battle or we are not. We are worried about some of the districts, like in Durban, where the reports are showing almost more than 2,000 people, 2,003 people who have experienced the gender-based violence, and also in Pietermaritzburg, for 672 is a big number, in King Zechwa 583. The three districts which are leading, in fact, they will be given a priority. Hence, we are going to King Zechwa on the 1st of December to engage one of the communities where in numbers are showing to be big, because our approach as the government of KwaZulu-Natal is that whether it's general crime or is gender-based violence, in our approach, we start by addressing the hotspots. Like today, we were at Loscope, wherein I've just mentioned recently that the numbers are skyrocketing, and even the issue of killing people is skyrocketing. So we attend to those hotspots, at the same time ensuring that our approach is a multi-sector approach to ensure that every sector is involved, and we rope in even the leaders of the society, and we will be then analyzing stats whether we're able to win the battle in those hotspots to minimize, while we educate communities in other different parts of KwaZulu-Natal to understand the importance of protecting women and children. And even the local government is quite also pivotal here. Hence, we are working with local government or the municipalities in our campaign. And then we'll be also encouraging them for more programs so that we really try to arrest the challenge.
As you speak about this multi-sector approach and expanding on the different ways around it, I know that in August you led a march in the fight against gender-based violence. You spoke a lot about the issue of financial support within marriages and had urged men to fulfill responsibilities, talking about financial assistance to their spouses. What are some of the socio-economic factors which may exacerbate the situation, or perhaps the other trends you've noted which have sadly resulted in the increase?
Yeah, in fact, on this, you see, today our approach was that we went with the MEC for Agriculture and Rural Development and the MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. Our reason to bring them to the community was for them to address those issues which are socio-economical for the women. And in our department, of my office in particular, we launched the Women Empowerment Fund with a purpose with almost 200 million, wherein we're saying we want women to emancipate them economically by accessing the grants and even those fundings which are coming from the different banks with a repayment plan which is not expensive, so that they embark on the economic activities while reskilling the women, youth, and the youth in general, because the majority will find that when they completed matric, the kind of the education they have could not, in fact, afford them an opportunity to participate in the economy, job creation, not having skills which are practical, such as welding, plumbing, and other skills which are quite very fundamental. So, as the provincial government, then that is the program we're embarking on to say to the women, now don't be dependent. Here is an opportunity. We will empower you with the skills and knowledge.
Very quickly, just pardon the interruption, just for the sake of time, are these programs accessible? Because it's all well and good to talk about programs that will help and serve as intervention mechanisms, but how practical is it for one to be a part of these programs? What is the red tape that results in people perhaps not wanting to even try?
We are working very hard to ensure that they're accessible. In particular, our approach is different. What is new then with the 7th administration approach is that when they intend to access our programs, they go straight to the nearby municipality, a local municipality, an office of LED, and the office of youth, if it has to do with youth. And then those offices, they liaise directly with our office. And as the Office of the Premier, we have, in fact, a plan or a program to engage locals to ensure that we drive our programs through the closest leaders or the closest sphere of government to the people in order to ensure that they access. As much as I must say, I must be honest with you, Mondisa, that currently for now, I'm not happy with the response. I think we still need to do more to ensure that we are more closer, we are more effective in order to ensure that we see more of the women coming on board to say, now we understand what you were saying when you were launching, and now we're here, please help us. But the rate of the women who have already came on board, in fact, is also positive.
Yeah.
However, I'm not convinced understanding the socio-economic status of our women in our province.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. KwaZulu-Natal Premier Thami Ntuli there speaking about the launch of the 16 Days of Activism.